Good day, everyone. This is Engineer Melissa, your instructor in Engineering Economy. In this video, I will be discussing the two remaining topics for Unit 3, which is the break-even analysis and the benefit-cost ratio. Okay, so just a reminder, we will be having the unit exam 4 on Monday, November 24. So, ang coverage po nun is yung economic study methods up to the benefit cost ratio. Okay, yung i-discuss ko ngayon. Okay, let's start. So, break-even analysis. So, break-even, we already defined the word break-even during Unit 1, no? So, pag sinabi nating break-even, it is where yung ating pinapalabas na pera or yung ating cash outflow is just equal doon sa mga pumapasok na pera or yung income. Okay? So, yung gastos natin is just equal to the income. Yan yung tinatawag natin na baliktaya, like break-even. So, the break-even analysis is performed to determine the value of a variable or parameter of a project or alternative that makes two elements equal. For example, the sales volume that will equate revenues and the cost. So, kumbaga, tinitignan natin at what level of production or output will both options or those alternatives cost the same. Okay, kung kailan mag-i-equal yung cost for alternative 1 and alternative 2. Okay, so because different options often have this different fixed and variable cost. Hindi naman lahat ng business or mga alternatives is pare-parehas tayo ng nire-require na capital, okay? Or yung unit per cost. Requires maliit na puhunan. Okay? But in the long run, malaki pala yung unit nila per cost. Yung cost nila per unit. Okay? But there are also some businesses or alternatives that requires expensive capital or high capital. Okay? But in the long run, mura lang yung magiging cost nila per unit. Okay? So we need to consider those alternatives. So a break-even study is performed for two alternatives to determine when either alternative is equally acceptable. So break-even analysis is commonly applied in make or buy decisions when a decision is needed about the source for manufactured components, services, or etc. So in engineering economy, many situations are encountered where the cost of two or more alternatives may be affected by a common variable. So break-even point is the value of the variable for which the costs for the alternatives will be equal. Okay, so we have here equations for alternative 1 and alternative 2. Okay, so C1 means the total cost of alternative 1 and C2 is the total cost for alternative 2. So let C1 is equal to f of x of 1 and C2 is equal to f of x of 2. Okay, so yung x natin is the common independent variable affecting alternative 1 and alternative 2. Okay, so x is a common independent variable. Okay, kumbaga siya yung x na to, ay siya yung magde-determine kung kailan magiging equal yung two alternatives na yan. Okay? So, kumbaga, let's say for example, meron akong alternative 1 na, kunwari, construction. Okay. So, my option 1 is mang-hire ng, let's say, backhoe. Okay, mag-hire ako ng backhoe. My alternative 2 is by hiring laborers. Okay? So, kumbaga manual, tsaka gagamit ako ng equipment. Okay? So, there are instances or it will come to a point na mag-i-equal yung magagastos ko for the laborers and doon sa may backhoe. Okay? Madedetermine yan nung volume na magagawa nila. Okay? So, yung magiging common denominator doon or the common variable is the volume na magagawa nung backhoe and then the volume na magagawa nung ating laborers. Okay? So it will come a point na magmi-meet yung volume na magagawa nila and it will equate to the total cost na magagastos ko for the manual and then for the equipment. Okay? So that common independent variable, okay? Yan yung tinatawag natin na break-even point. Okay? So f of x of 1 is equal to f of x of 2, which may be solved for x or what we call the break-even point. Okay? So we have here the break-even chart. So this is a graphical representation of the break-even analysis. Okay? So this is your alternative 1. This one, yung straight line na to. And then this is your alternative 2. Okay. On the x-axis, we have here the common variable or yung units or yung production natin. Okay? And then on the y-axis, we have here the total cost. Okay. So simulan natin sa alternative 1. Dito muna tayo sa point na to. Dito. Okay. So dito sa point na to, no? Meron na tayong nagastos, di ba? Total cost, meron na tayong nagastos, pero wala pa tayong na-produce. Zero yan. Common variable units is 0. So meron na tayong nagagastos, pero wala pa tayong na-produce. So yan yung tinatawag natin na first cost or yung ating fixed cost, di ba? Ayan. And then an alternative 2, let's proceed here. Alternative 2, meron na rin tayong nagastos, pero wala pa tayong na-produce. Alternatives, no? The alternative 1 requires mas mababang kapital. Okay, mas mababang kapital compared kay alternative 2. Mas mahal yung nire-require ni alternative 2 na capital. Okay? Sige, balik tayo dito sa line na to, alternative 1. So dito na sa point na to. So on this point, no, nakapag-produce na, meron nang na-produce. On this point, reflect mo dito. Okay. On this point, yan. So, meron na po tayong na-produce na, meron ng unit na produce. And at the same time, tumaas yung ating total cost. Okay? So, from this point, tumaas siya. Okay, next, alternative 2 naman on this point. Okay? So, meron na po tayong unit na na-produce and then, meron na rin po tayong total cost. Here, I mean, nadagdagan yung ating total cost. Okay? So, comparing the two alternatives on this point, okay, so alternative 1 in the long run, okay, kunwari yan, same production, same sila ng unit. Yan, same sila ng unit At si alternative 1, mas mahal yung nagastos niya. Si alternative 2, mas mababa. Diba? Okay, so isama rin natin summarize. So si alternative 1, it requires small capital, but in the long run, mas mataas yung nagiging cost per unit niya. Si alternative 2, nagsimula siya ng mataas, but in the long run, kaunti na lang or mas mababa yung kaniyang cost per unit compared kay alternative 1. Okay? So, ang ibig sabihin lang nito, okay, if we have a short-term business, okay, if we have a short-term business, it is advisable to consider alternative 1. Kasi, ayan, habang tumatagal yung business mo, mas tumataas yung nagiging total cost. Okay? Kaya kung short-term business lang, consider mo si alternative 1. Okay? Pero pag long-term business, consider mo si alternative 2. Because in the long run, ayan, nagsimula ka ng mataas, but in the long run, mas nagiging mura or mas nagiging cheaper yung nagiging cost per unit. Okay? So, you need to consider those alternatives or those factors, okay, that affects the prices of our units. Okay? So here, yung intersection between the alternative 1 and alternative 2 is known as the break-even point. Okay? Magkakaroon ng same production, same unit, and at the same time, same total cost. Okay? So that is the break-even point. Okay. So we have here simple steps in determining the break-even point of alternatives. Okay? So instead of plotting the total cost, we can use yung engineering economy expressions natin, such as the present worth or the annual worth at the minimum attractive rate of return. So the annual worth is preferred when the variable units are expressed on a yearly basis. And AW calculations are simpler for alternatives with unequal lives. Okay, so we can use annual worth. Okay, but take note, in annual worth method, i-express natin lahat ng gastusin natin in peso per year. Naka per year po lahat. Okay? But if we are talking about present worth, lahat po ng gastos natin, i-convert natin into its equivalent present worth. Okay? So anyway, I will be having examples later on. So we have here simple steps. Number 1 is to define the common variable and its dimensional units. Number 2, develop the present worth or annual worth relation for each alternative as a function of the common variable. and equate the two relations and solve for the break-even value of the variable. So selection between alternatives is based on this guideline. If the anticipated level of the common variable is, okay, sige, balikan natin to later on. Dito muna tayo. So equate the two relations and solve for the break-even value of the variable. So ang gagawin natin dyan, we will just be equating the annual worth of the alternative 1. Annual worth of the alternative 1 is just equal to annual worth of alternative 2. Of course, meron tayong common variable dyan. So let's say, for example, yung variable natin is x. Okay? So yung x na yun, it will represent the break-even point. Okay? Or we can also use the present worth of your alternative 1 is equal to present worth of alternative 2. Okay? Okay, so let's have Koi Aerospace Company is evaluating two alternatives, the purchase of an automatic feed machine and a manual feed machine for a finishing process. Okay, so dalawa daw yung alternative. First, we have here the automatic feeder machine. Okay, so two alternatives are being considered, the automatic versus the manual. Okay. So the auto feed machine has an initial cost of 1.15 million. Okay. So 1.15. An estimated salvage value of 200,000. Okay, so we have here CL. And a predicted life of 10 years. So one person will operate the machine at a rate of 600 peso per hour. Okay. So it requires 1 manpower to operate the machine. And the rate is equal to 600 peso per hour. Okay. So the expected output is 8 tons per hour. Okay. Annual maintenance and operating cost is expected to be 175,000. Okay, so maintenance and operating cost. So 175,000 annual daw, so per year. Okay. The alternative manual feed machine has a first cost of 400,000. Okay, so 400. No expected salvage value and a 5-year life and an output of 6 tons per hour. Okay. However, 3 workers will be required. Okay, so salary. 3 workers will be required at the rate of 400 peso per hour each. Okay. So this is just equal to 1,200 per hour. Okay, so the machine will have an annual maintenance and operating cost of 75,000. Okay, again, that's annual. So per year. All projects are expected to generate a return of 10% per year. How many tons per year must be finished to justify the higher purchase cost of the auto feed machine? Okay? So, okay na po tayo doon sa given on the automatic and manual machine. Okay. So, on this problem, I will be using the annual worth, although hindi binanggit dito sa problem kung anong method yung gagamitin. Ang sabi lang dito kasi is we can use present worth or annual worth. Okay. So, on problem 1, annual worth muna. And then, on problem 2, gamitin natin yung present worth. Okay? So, the annual worth is preferred when the variable units are expressed on a yearly basis. Okay? Ibig sabihin, lahat po ng ating cash flow dito is in peso per year. Kasi annual. Okay? Annual. So, unahin natin si automatic. Okay? So, based on the steps here, okay, sabi dito, we will define the common variable and its dimensional units. So, common variable. What is the common variable between the automatic and then the manual? Right? So, let's have this one. Yung automatic, okay, yung maintenance and operating cost, hindi naman magbabago yan regardless of the output, right? Ito man yung produce ko ngayon versus on this unit. Okay, same pa rin yung magiging maintenance and operating cost, which is 175,000. Okay. Ang magiging variable natin dito is the salary. Okay? Mag-iiba yung salary based doon sa output natin. Okay? So take note, ang sabi natin kanina, it is advisable to express them in annual. So gawin nating peso per year. Okay, so wala tayong problema dito. Maintenance and operating cost. Naka-peso per year na lang. Na yan, yun nga lang ito, we need to convert it later on. Salary. Okay, kung titignan natin, naka-peso per hour. Okay, again, yung salary natin, nagbabari yan, depende doon sa output. Okay? Depende doon sa output. So, ang gagawin natin is to express yung salary natin in terms of the output. So, we have here peso per hour. Okay? Again, take note, ang gagawin natin dito is to express it into peso per year. Okay? So, in 1 hour, it can generate 8 peso per tons. Okay, next. Paano natin gagawing peso per year to? So, dapat ma-eliminate natin si tons. Okay, naka-tons per year yan. Which is, yan yung hinahanap ng ating problem. Okay, so how many tons per year must be finished to justify the higher purchase cost of the auto-feed machine? Okay, so how many tons per year? Ibig sabihin, yan yung magiging variable natin. Yan yung unknown. Okay, so we can express it as X tons per year. Okay? So, cancel. We are left with peso per year. So, this is now equal to 75. Dito ko na ilagay. So, we have here 75x per year. Okay? So, that is the variable. So, common variable. Ibig sabihin, present din yung x na yan dito sa may manual. Okay? Gagamitin natin dito sa salary. Okay? So, ganun din, 1,200 peso per hour. And then, ilang yung tons na na-produce na sa isang oras? We have 6 tons. Okay? And then, ilang ton yung kaya niyang i-produce sa loob ng isang taon. Okay? So, we have here 200 x per year. Okay? So, yan na yung salary natin. Kadepende siya doon sa output. Okay? And then, it's better if we will draw the cash flow diagram. Okay, automatic versus manual. Automatic tayo muna. Okay, so our first cost is 1.15 million. Next, we have CL of 200,000. 10 years, yung buhay ng automatic machine. 1, 2, 3. Tat na natin siya. So, yearly, nagbabayad sila ng maintenance cost that is equal to 175,000. Okay, per year. 175. Okay, what else? Ano pa yung gastusin nila per year? The salary. Okay, so we have here 75x. 75. Then 75x. Okay? So, yan yung cash flow diagram. Again, ang sabi kanina, it is better to express it in annual or on a yearly basis. So, wala tayong problema dito kasi naka-yearly na yan. Ang i-convert natin into yearly is the 1.15 million and then the 200,000. Okay? With the use of annuity. So, yung 1.15, gamitan natin ng annuity, specifically the ordinary annuity. No? So, ito yung magiging P mo. So, P is equal to A, 1 plus I raised to N minus 1 all over I, 1 plus I raised to N. Okay? So, ang P natin is 1.15 million is equal to A, 1 plus, okay, our interest is 10%. You know, return of 10% per year. So, 0.1 raised to N, 10 minus 1 all over 0.1, 1 plus 0.1 raised to 10. Okay, so the annuity here is equal to So we have 187,157. 187,157.20. Okay. So, ikakalat natin si 1.15 into annuity. So, tawagin na lang natin A1. Sige. A1. Nandito yan. A1, 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 A1. Okay? Next, the 200,000. Gawin din natin yung annuity. Ikakalat natin siya on a yearly basis. Ayan. With the use of sinking fund. Okay, so idiretso ko na, no? So, we have here 200,000 is equal to A, 1 plus I raised to 10 minus 1 all over I. Okay? So, yung ating A here is equal to it is equal to 12,549. Sige, tawagan natin A2. 12549.08. Okay? Unit. Peso. Okay. 125948. So, this is A2. A tanggalin natin. Okay. So, 12549.08. Ngayon, makukuha na natin yung annual worth. Okay? So, the annual worth is equal to okay. So, the annual worth of your alternative 1 or yung ating automatic is equal to, i-add mo lang natin yan, annual worth. Kukunin mo lang yung isang taon dito kasi pare-parehas lang naman yan. So, lahat nandito sa taas is positive, lahat ng nasa baba is negative. So, we have here 12549.08 minus 175,000 minus 75x minus A1, 187,157.2. Therefore, the annual worth for alternative 1 is equal to, simplify lang po natin. $187,157.2. So, we have here negative 349. Negative 349. 608.12. 608.12 minus 75x. Okay? So, leave as it is. Next, gawin naman natin for the manual. Same process lang din po. So, manual. Drawing natin yung cash flow diagram. So, it is cost, first cost 400,000. Tapos 275. Okay. 400,000. Tapos, ang lifespan niya is only 5. 5 to 1. Okay. Yearly, gumagastos tayo ng 75,000 for the maintenance. 75. What else? The salary. The salary is 200x per year. Okay. 200x. 200x. Okay? So, naka-annual na yan. Annual basis na. Ito na lang, i-convert natin into annual. Ikakalat natin siya dito. Tawagin natin yung A3. So, with the use of ordinary annuity, no? So, diretso na natin. 400,000 is equal to A 1 plus I raised to, okay, lifespan is 5 only, minus 1 all over 0.1, 1 plus 0.1 raised to 5. Okay, so 80 is equal to 105. So we have 105, 518.99. Okay. 1.1. Okay. So 105, 518.99 pesos. Okay. Pesos. And then, tsaka natin kunin yung annual worth of alternative 2. So we have here, okay, lahat ng baba is negative. Negative 75,000 minus 200x minus 105,518.99. So simplify po natin. we have 105,518. Ay, kinalculator pa talaga. Negative 180,518.99. Okay? Minus 200x. So, this is now the annual worth for alternative 2. Okay. Next is to equate. Sabi nito, equate the two relations and solve for the break-even value of the variable. Therefore, we have here A1 or AW1 is equal to AW2. Okay, so ilagay na natin dito. 349,608.12. Okay, equate nyo na lang ito. Negative 349,608.12 minus 75x is equal to negative 180,518.99 minus 200x. Okay, paki-shift solve na po. So, ang x po natin dito is equal to 1352.713 tons. Okay, naka per year yan, yearly basis. So, kailangan niyang mag-produce ng 1352.713 tons para masabi natin na justifiable yung pagbili natin ng automatic. Kasi yung tinatanong dito, how many tons per year must be finished to justify the higher purchase cost of the auto-feed machine. To produce 1352.713 tons. Okay? Para masabi natin na worth it yung pagbili niya ng ano tawag dito? Automatic. Okay. So, just a short insights. Okay? So, pag ang kailangan nating i-produce is lesser than 1352, let's say 1,200. Okay? If we say we only need 1,200 tons. Okay? So, should we buy the automatic or should we buy the manual? Okay? So, on this situation, we will buy the manual. Okay? Bakit manual? Kasi it takes 1,352 para ma-break even yung pagbili natin ng automatic. 1,200 lang naman yung kailangan natin. Ibig sabihin, nakapag-produce na tayo ng 1,200, hindi mo pa na-break even yung nagastos mo doon sa may automatic. Okay? Pero, if we need to produce greater than 1,352, let's say 1,400, okay, we need 1,400 tons per year, doon masasabi natin na worth it yung pagbili natin ng automatic. Kasi it's already above the break-even. Okay? O, sige, balikan natin yung ating graph. This one. Okay. This is your, sige, tanggalin nyo yan. Hindi yan alternative 1. Let's say, alternative 1 kasi is this automatic. Pero dito, okay. Dito tayo tumingin sa price. Sino yung mas mababa yung first cost? It is the manual, right? Only 400,000. Dito, yung alternative, dito is this is your automatic. Okay, automatic. So, yung break-even ng dalawa is ito, 1,352.17 tons. Okay. So, kanina, sabi ko, what if 1,200 lang yung iproproduce natin? 1,200. So, ano yung mas advisable na bilhin natin? It is the manual. Kasi it only requires smaller capital, okay? Tapos, hindi naman niya mako-crossover yung break-even point. Kasi 1,200 nga lang pag automatic yung kinuha mo. Hindi niya mag-break even up to 1,352. Okay, because 1,200. Kumbaga, nandito yung 1,200, oh. Okay, so, it is advisable to buy the manual compared doon sa automatic. But, if it requires 1,500, for example, okay, so, saan ba yung mas mataas na cost? We have now the manual. So, doon ka na sa alternative 2, ay doon ka na sa automatic. Because it only requires smaller or it requires a smaller cost per unit. Kasi it is now above the break-even point na 1,352. Okay, so in other words, if greater than 1,352 yung kailangan mo, choose the automatic. But if it is lower than 1,352, choose the manual. Okay?